Hey everyone. So if you've been following the news at all, you know the big fight in the car world seems to be electric versus gas, right? It's everywhere. But what if that whole debate, what if that's just the opening act for a much, much bigger show? Let's get into it and unpack what's really going on.
Because this right here might be the real question we should be asking. We're all watching this slow, kind of grinding transition to electric cars, but there's this other massive revolution happening at the exact same time, the shift to fully autonomous vehicles. And I'll tell you what, one of these futures is coming at us a whole lot faster than the other.
Okay, so first, let's just set this stage with the race that everyone's already watching. This is the conversation that you see on all the headlines all the time.
And you know all the arguments here, right? For EVs, it's all about being better for the planet, cheaper to run, but then you've got the range anxiety, and the fact that you can't always find a charger. And for gas cars, hey, it's convenient. We've got a century of gas stations built up, but they have their own environmental baggage. This is the standard story we're all told.
But here's the thing. This whole debate is just bogged down. It's full of friction. Because the move to electric, it's not just a tech problem. It's a political problem. It's an economic problem. We're talking about rebuilding factories, retraining millions of people. It's just this incredibly slow, heavy lift.
So, what if we've been laser focused on the completely wrong race this whole time? Let's just pivot for a second and look at this from a totally different angle. This is an insight that really changes the entire picture. Here it is. This is the core idea. The EV transition has brakes. It's constantly being slowed down by politics and economics, whether we like it or not. But the AV transition, the move to self-driving cars, that thing is being fueled by a rocket engine. You see, we're looking at two totally different forces of change here. The EV shift is mostly being pushed on us by political will, top-down policies and regulations. But the AV shift, that is being pulled forward by raw, unfiltered consumer desire, a bottom-up demand for a life that is just fundamentally better. And those two types of energy could not be more different. And that difference creates two completely different paths forward. So let's break down exactly why one of these is full of roadblocks, while the other one is just an open, accelerating fast lane.
Look, the move to EVs threatens huge, established industries. It affects millions of jobs tied to the old-school combustion engine. That creates enormous political risk and a ton of resistance. The AV transition, it has its own challenges for sure, but those challenges are just dwarfed by this overwhelming public demand that honestly probably can't be stopped.
And that demand? It starts with simple logic. The single biggest reason for autonomous vehicles is safety. We're not talking about a little improvement here. We're talking about the potential to be up to 100 times safer than a human driver. 100 times. That is a paradigm shift. It's a benefit so huge, it basically makes politics irrelevant.
But logic is only half of it. The real rocket fuel is pure emotion. It's desire. The idea that you could literally sleep during your commute, or turn your car into a private movie theater, or use all that travel time to actually get work done? I mean, come on, this isn't just a car anymore. It's a personal chauffeur, a mobile office, your own private space. That is an incredibly powerful, almost irresistible vision.
And this gets us to what you could call the desire engine. This is the one force that so many expert models and predictions just completely fail to account for. It's the raw, undeniable power of human nature.
Experts love to draw these nice, neat, straight lines. They look at the tech today, and they project this slow, linear adoption over the next, say, 10 or 20 years. But desire doesn't work that way. Once a few people see their neighbor's car driving them home while they're taking a nap inside, the demand curve isn't going to be a line. It's going to be a sudden vertical leap.
Because when a technology offers not just a small improvement, but a quantum leap in your quality of life and your safety, its adoption becomes a tidal wave. And you just can't build political barriers high enough to stop a tidal wave. People will demand it. Period.
Now, this is not just some cool thought experiment. This insight leads you directly to a very practical, very actionable conclusion, especially if you're thinking about where to put your attention or even your money.
The thought process here is actually pretty simple. First, you spot the deeper trend, right? The pull of autonomy is just way stronger than the push for electric. Okay, so second, what are the key technologies that make that future happen? This insight suggests the real opportunity isn't just in the car itself, it's in the brains behind it all, the AI, the sensors, the software platforms that make this whole revolution possible.
And that brings us to the really big lesson here. This way of thinking isn't just about cars. It's a lens you can use to view the future.
The real skill is learning to spot those places where technology is about to unlock a massive wave of unstoppable consumer desire. Because that's where the most profound changes and the biggest opportunities are always going to be.
So, as we wrap this up, I'll just leave you with this question to think about. If all the experts are so focused on this slow, complicated political race, what's the other inevitable, desire-driven future that maybe we're all collectively underestimating right now?